Democrats are in serious trouble right now. John Fetterman is now, according to the latest poll, in a dead heat with Dr. Oz. And not to pat myself on the back, but I said probably 6 weeks ago that race was going to get a lot closer, and I thought that Oz might take that race. Well, yesterday, Joe Biden arrived in Pennsylvania for what has to be one of the most awkward campaign stops in recent memory. So John Fetterman, who had a stroke and cannot process auditory information correctly, was meeting with Joe Biden, who cannot speak out of his face hole. So that was weird. It was also weird to see John Fetterman. He showed up in a suit, and he kind of looks like Mr. Turtley Turtle from that Dana Carvey movie. Like, his head does not fit his body. It's less clear when he wears the Carhartt sweatshirts and the oversized baggy shorts, but when he's wearing a suit, he kind of looks like a thumb sticking out of his suit a little bit, and that's awkward. So that John Fetterman did wear a suit. He's capable of wearing a suit, and then Joe Biden made things even more awkward. So during his speech, he told John Fetterman's wife that she would be excellent in the Senate. Which, saying the quiet part out loud, there, dude. John Fetterman's wife has suddenly become a campaign issue because she keeps going out there and saying that members of the press should apologize to John Fetterman for noticing that he is no longer with it and all the rest of this. So John Fetterman, his wife, Joe Biden said, your wife will be amazing in the Senate. I mean, just like Joe Biden is an amazing president, actually. So here is Joe Biden.
And John, thank you very much for running. I really do appreciate it. And Zell, you're gonna be a great lady in the Senate.
You're gonna be a great lady in the Senate. I'm so glad, John, that you're running, and your wife will make an excellent senator. Whew. Good job there, Joe. Also, we got the usual Joe Biden inability to speak the English language. So he tried to explain that he had made a once-in-a-lifetime investment in America, and he doesn't know how numbers work.
It's infrastructure decade, a headline on my watch. With the help of your members of Congress here today, I signed into law a once-in-a-generation investment in roads, highways, bridges, railroads, ports, airports, and so much more. Over $1.2 billion.
Over $1.2 billion trillion McFillion. Joe Biden. Then he got lost again. So how many videos are there of Joe Biden just getting lost in the woods? Here's Joe Biden getting lost in the woods. It's like a horror movie. So he stops at the microphone. I love when they bring in the music and he just gets confused. He's like, where am I going? I don't know. Oh, where? Oh, this way, that way, this way, that way. Turn it all around, hokey pokey. Oh, I'm going to hustle off the stage. Try not to fall down those stairs. Yeah. Joe Biden. He's definitely with it. Meanwhile, John Fetterman's wife, who will make an excellent senator, says we're not doing interviews, which is always the best sign of a great candidate, is when your wife is jumping in going, he's not answering questions. So there's John Fetterman looking very much like Uncle Fester, accompanied by his wife, who says that he will not be answering questions.
Mr. Fetterman, are you satisfied with the progress of the bridge?
He's not going to be answering questions. He's just going to stand here. It's going to be great, guys. Well, that visit went so well that people are wondering why Joe Biden isn't going to other Senate races. The answer is no one wants him there. Nobody wants Joe Biden anywhere near a Senate race. But the White House has to deny this. They have to pretend that Joe Biden is wildly popular despite his 40% approval rating. Karine Jean-Pierre, the world's worst press secretary, she says that Joe Biden still plans to visit the battleground states, which left Mark Kelly screaming into his pillow last night.
Is the president going to go to Georgia or Nevada in the next 19 days?
I don't have any travel to preview for you at this time. As you know, we're going to be in Pittsburgh and Philly today, and the president's truly excited about that.
Oh, well, no travel to preview this. Well, he'll be back in Rehoboth Beach getting into that crypt. Because nobody actually wants him in these Senate races. Joe Biden was asked directly about this, and he got irritable, which always happens when he's not eating ice cream. Here he was explaining that it's not true Democrats don't want him to campaign.
John Fetterman's going to appear with you today in Pennsylvania, but there haven't been that many candidates campaigning with you. Why are more?
That's not true. There's been 15. Count, kid, count.
Okay, and are there going to be even more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn to count, man. They're all campaigning with me. In my imagination. I mean, Mark Kelly was literally asked on national TV if he wanted Joe Biden to come, and he's like, no. Tim Ryan was asked in Ohio, do you want Joe Biden to show up? Tim Ryan's like, Nobody wants this guy anywhere near them. There's a reason for that. CBS interviewed some Arizonans about the upcoming election between Mark Kelly and Blake Masters. Blake Masters was trailing pretty significantly. In the latest polls, Blake Masters has been making up some significant ground. It is possible that Blake Masters pulls out that race now, right? Even a week ago, I was suggesting that Blake Masters was a real underdog in that race. Now Blake Masters is looking a lot better, partially because Carrie Lake is running a very strong top of the ticket race. She's very Trumpy. She also happens to be tremendous on television. In any case, here are some Arizona voters talking about why they don't like Mark Kelly, and the answer is Joe Biden.
Joe Biden's the worst president ever, man.
Why?
First of all, look at gas, the economy, the border. We got fentanyl. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't care about Americans.
Trump could run again. All he has to do is say, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago when I was in office? And the answer would be a resounding no.
Hello, Phoenix.
Okay, so great job there by Joe Biden. No wonder people are running away from him. So what is the fallout going to be here? The fallout is going to be everybody is holding back on Joe Biden right now. They're holding back, but the passion of the Democratic Party base and the blue checks is not with Joe Biden. The passion of the Democratic Party base and the blue checks is with a more radical figure than Joe Biden. Now, they've been using Joe Biden as a sort of empty vessel in order to achieve victory over Donald Trump. The problem is if Joe Biden completely shatters on impact, as it appears he is going to, he's now, I've fallen and I can't get up. Right? If that happens in the midterms, the knives are going to come out for him so unbelievably quickly. Jim Clyburn, I think, who really sponsored his run, right? James Clyburn in South Carolina. He was the guy who really put him over the top in the primaries against Bernie Sanders. He had an interview last night on MSNBC. And first he tried to kind of walk his way through the idea that Democrats might still win the election. And then afterward, he sort of gave up the ghost.
And I don't know if anybody who will say, I would rather pay $10 or even 10 cents or even 20 cents less per gallon and allow you to take my rights away, my voting rights away, and these other things that we know the other party is doing to suppress votes. That's a fool's choice that we will not make.
But why ask people to make that choice?
Okay, so that was Jim Clyburn trying to explain. They're going to win the midterms because people care more about abortion than $10 gas. No, that's not true. And then James Clyburn is asked the real question. And the question is, would he support Joe Biden in 2024? He's like, maybe, possibly, maybe.
Joe Biden is giving us a great recovery, the largest infrastructure since Eisenhower, the largest progressive program since Lyndon Johnson's Great Society. This is nothing to sneeze at. And the American people recognize that. And I resent people who feel that we would much rather not have jobs and education so long as we can pay 10 cents less for a gallon of gasoline.
So, Congressman, if he runs again, will you again support him?
I suspect I will. I don't see why I would not.
I don't see why. I'm probably, no. Yeah, no, the long knives are going to come out for Joe Biden if, in fact, his team goes down to flaming defeat. And counterintuitively, what's going to end up happening is they're not going to moderate their positions. They're going to elect somebody for the nomination who is significantly more progressive than Joe Biden. Because, again, Democrats can't help themselves. They keep fibbing about whether we end up at the bottom of that slippery slope. But increasingly, they're just taking Crisco and slathering it all over the slippery slope. We're going to end up there sooner rather than later if Democrats are, in fact, elected. Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be getting into why Liz Truss just lost her job as Prime Minister of the UK. If you're not a member, click the link in the description and join us.